Hey everybody. Yeah, welcome to the third part of a week worth of Sonic Rants from a week worth of fans' Sonic Rants. And well, I read the first two, read the first one in the first two videos, and now I'm probably going to try to shell out as many as I can on this one because some of them are quite short. But this next fan posted about a day ago. Yeah, one day, 18 hours ago. And this fan asked a question. Basically, they have a question, but this fan's question is this. This is what they ask, and I quote, "Okay, guys, I thought I'd ask you all something. Aside from the Mekasali arc and the redesigns, what is the worst decision of Flynn's run? I know that if I didn't put in Imbro on those two, you guys would likely pick them. So yeah, complaints about other parts." Well, what they're asking is they want to know what you feel is the worst part in your opinion, or anybody else's opinions, of Ian Flynn's current run, I guess. Or the arc in general, or whatever. Well, basically his run. Now, this person has said, for example, this person used two of them for his example. The first one that he felt was one of the worst parts, or they felt was one of the worst parts of Ian Flynn's current run, is the Fiona heel turn. Yeah, I know, you could slap your foreheads again, I'm pretty sure, but you're thinking not again, right? Well, this is what they said. They basically say, yeah, you saw this coming. It's still one of my pet peeves. This twist was pointless. Destroy a character with a lot of potential with nothing gained from it. It sucks. Alright. That's the first thing. Now here's the second one. These are two that they're using for example. Here's the second one. Number 2, the Eggman Nega situation. This is without a doubt one of the dumbest things he's ever done. See, Sega, for some reason, doesn't want people to use Nega, or as I prefer to label him, Professor Paliswap. I don't blame them. There are enough recolors in this fandom without adding official ones. So what does Flynn do? Only go and make him the arch nemesis of both Blaze and the Zone Cops. And yeah, basically that's what they said, because then he says, so yeah, those are my picks. What are yours? Remember, this had to be for something outside of the Mecha Sally arc and not involving the crappy new Sally and Bunny designs. And whatever. Again, now remember, as I said in the first two videos, these are just these are fans that are basically ranting or saying what they want to say here. Now, honestly, I can't really see anything really bad. If I was to actually pick one thing, I'd have to say it's the Iron Dominion. I really would. Now, I know some people might defend the Iron Dominion, but you know, take a look at my Iron Dominion video and you'll kind of see what I'm saying, but honestly, one of the things there was you basically wanted to establish there were other villains, just as, if not more powerful than Eggman, that could be just as, if not more of a threat to Sonic and the Freedom Fighters. Now, I'll give them credit in trying to accomplish that, but, here's the thing. All they were doing was buying time for Eggman to recover, because Eggman pretty much became the villain again. You didn't bring out a new source or anything. So, and the fact that I think the real disappointment for me, because I'll give the Iron Dominion our credit. It was potentially a good story arc. It was. It had its moments. I'm not going to deny that. But I think what kind of drove it low for me a little bit was the fact that they couldn't get, and this is basically part of the arc, because this is basically part of it in many ways. They couldn't get the scheduling of the universe, and the main comic releases, to coincide with each other. That's about it. I mean, you basically had the main you had the main comics portion of it, the main meat of it, end before the Journey to the East part ended. And again, another thing, and this might surprise people, is you basically, because I called this right off the bat. Basically, you used this story arc as well to give us what I like to call the Zach Morris, story arc relationship. Like I've said many times, using examples, we had Zach Morris and that girl in the Hawaiian Vacation television movie. And as well as that Stacy character he fell for in the summer vacation episodes, on the summer job episodes, if you will. So to me, I look at it like you mainly use this for a temporary flirtatious relationship with Monkey Kong, which is okay if it helps the story out, that's fine. But you were just using it as a stepping stone to get back to what a majority of the fans wanted to see, and that was Sonic and Sally. And you know what? That's fine. That's fine and everything. But if you were going to go in that direction and you wanted to make it look like it was going to be the permanent deal, you could have capitalized on it more. And I think you kind of dropped the ball on that. But those are just my pet peeves, if you will. Hold on for a second. Those are just my pet peeves, if you will. Hold on, folks. Yeah. Anyway, those are just some of my pet peeves. Not much, because potentially I look at Flynn and I think he's a good writer. There are just some things he does that doesn't make any sense. But that's the thing with a lot of writers. A lot of comic book writers have done things that don't make sense. You want a good example of some comic books and comic book writers that have done that? Check out Linkara at Atop the Fourth Wall. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And then another question they bring out is who should have been roboticized? Yeah, they ask that question of basically who should have been roboticized instead of Sal. One person says Shadow, because it would have made sense for Eggman to have access to Shadow's powers whenever he wanted. I mean, basically this is what they say. They say, think about it. Eggman having Shadow's powers at his disposal, he would have been in true danger. And maybe the arc could be something more than a 20-issue cat and mouse chase. Now that suggestion there would have made some sense and potential. But again, you got to realize, Ian Flynn wanted to go in this direction. He said he wanted to do something that was going to surprise people, and it did. So we're just going to see, so we just got to deal with it. I mean, who knows? We might get a roboticized Shadow sooner than you think, if you know what I'm saying. Now I know you guys taking your times, and I suggest you do that. Take your times to watch these vids. You can't deny how people feel sometimes about certain things. I mean, everybody has a right to their opinion and how they feel. And if a lot of these people want to express how they feel about what's going on, fine, let them express how they feel. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I know there's a lot of, for example, Sonic Amy fans that would love nothing more than to have Sonic and Amy together. Heck, I'm pretty sure they'd be just glad if there was an issue, maybe a side story, an issue where Amy was dreaming that her and Sonic officially got together, and that even though it was a dream, it would be at least something satisfactory for the Sonic Amy supporters. You know what I'm saying? Now, another thing that they brought up was a question of, who do you guys ship? Yeah, I'm not lying. This person is basically asking, who do you guys ship? This is what they say, and I quote, "In my last entry here, some of us were talking about the bad pairings, and Flynn is a Tails Amy supporter, and I want to know who you guys want to see together. I can imagine most, if not all of us, are Sonic and Sally supporters, but what about other characters who you would like to see them with?" Alright, here's who this person thinks. Here's who this person thinks. This person thinks Sonic, Sally. Duh. Tails, not sure who they want to see Tails with. They think Fiona would be good. Marina or Cream would be okay, game-wise. I need to remember that he's 11 in the comics. Knuckles, Julie Sue. You can argue Rouge, but that's more of the games. They would be together. But I think Julie Sue would be better. And then they say Amy, someone other than Sonic. Sally, Sonic. Bunny and Antoine aren't great together, enough said. Mina, someone other than the asshole known as Ash. Rotor, they got nothing for Rotor. Let's see. Now here are some of the pairings they do not support. Con Sally, Son Amy, Tails and Amy. If Amy wasn't the way she was then, maybe. Sonic and Elise from 206. Now they ask the question, who do you pair and support? Well, for me personally, if I want to give any reaction to that, and I'm going to also let you guys go into that too. If I was to give any kind of reaction, me personally, yeah, I gotta show some favoritism to Sonic and Sally. There's no doubt about that. If everything was mainly Sonic X related, let's put it that way. If it was mainly Sonic X related, then yeah, I might go towards Sonic and Amy. But I think through the main continuity as far as the comics, Sat AM, and if not the franchise as a whole, I gotta go with Sonic and Sally. Tails, well, it's been pretty much clued in through various issues, even before Ian Flynn came on board, that Tails and Amy might end up together. And if Ian Flynn has his way and can get it approved by Sega, just for the comic only, then yeah, there's no doubt that's going to happen. Because if you can't put Sonic and Amy together, what's the next best thing? Rotor, I'm not too sure of either. I mean, heck, I can't say. I say perhaps out of the blue, give him Cream's mom. I don't know. Maybe give him someone new. I don't know. Nicole, now that's kind of up in the air. People are now kind of pairing off at saying she could end up with Shard. You could have Nicole with Tails. Again, it all depends on what the writer wants to do. So, but that's just mainly who they feel that. But mainly the question is that they ask towards me and anybody else is, who would you ship? Who would you put together as a couple? So That's all I'm going to say for this part, and I'll be back with the next part later on. Comment down below.